Unbelievable. These people are absolutely unbelievable. No wonder MSNBC can't draw flies to a fresh turd. No wonder ratings at MSNBC have been circling the pooper. No wonder people are getting fired. Saw a headline earlier this afternoon. ABC just had a massive round of layoffs. CNN's had layoffs. MSNBC's had layoffs. The mainstream media is going through a monumental collapse. The media has lost influence and credibility. No one is watching these dumps. Last night, I heard Fox News talking about the rise of independent media, how more and more normal people are getting their news from YouTubers instead of the mainstream media. We might not have the production values, we might not be polished, but that's because we're not presenting you with turds. When you watch Uncle KC, you don't have to worry about wearing your mask to protect yourself from the boodle breeze. You don't have to hire fact checkers. You don't have to worry about being lied to. If I mess up, if I tell you something wrong and you correct me on it, I'll just tell you about it. When you watch Uncle KC, you damn sure don't have to worry about me trying to politicize a child who is battling brain cancer. Not an adult. Hell, politicizing an adult in that situation would be bad enough. But I'm talking about politicizing a child. You know, America has always been divided politically, and more than likely, we will always be politically divided. But in the past, there have been certain issues that we can all agree on. Hell, up until a few years ago, we could agree on crime. If a drunk driver crashes through the front door of your house, we didn't feel sympathy for the drunk driver. We felt sympathy for the victims, not a pretend victim, not a media-created ultimate victim, a real victim. When some asshole runs into Chick-fil-A threatening people with a knife and an off-duty police officer steps in and takes his life to protect everyone else, we don't feel bad for the asshole, unless, of course, you're Boston Mayor Michelle Wu. I want to apologize and sympathize with the family of the perpetrator. Our off-duty police officer should have followed policy and called social worker Shanice. She could have spoken with the perpetrator and got him to open up as to what childhood trauma caused him to pick up that knife. In the past, we've all been able to agree that boys will be boys and girls are girls. We didn't agree that boys will be girls. At 11 years old, if I had asked my dad for a dollhouse, he wouldn't have taken me to Dr. Rachel Levine to receive gender-affirming care. He would have given me a hammer and some nails and told me to build a tree house. And don't put no damn dolls in that tree house either. Terrorism, immigration, our values. These are things that we used to agree on, and we've always been able to agree when it came to kids. Kids are off limits. You could be political enemies, but you don't involve people's children, and you damn sure don't use them to further some twisted agenda. Unfortunately for MSNBC, a network that can't take any more negative publicity, unfortunately for MSNBC, Nicole Wallace doesn't understand that kids are off limits. Well, KC, who in the hell is Nick Wallace? Well, with two first names, you would think that she would be working at CNN. The Cemetery News Network, they hire anyone with two first names, or two weird names like Wolf Blitzer. Woof, woof, woof. Nicole Wallace is a political commentator at MSNBC. I'm sure you'll be surprised to find out that Nicole is also a former Yenta. She was a co-Yenta on The View in 2014, but she left after one season. Last night, she was covering the State of the Union for MSNBC, and it might be the last time she gets that opportunity because normal people, they are putting pressure on the network to fire Nicole Wallace. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. This morning on the second channel, talked about the ongoing disaster in Dallas. Kyrie Irving's out for the season and probably most of next season. Fan base is clinging to life support. Nico Harrison, he has destroyed the franchise. I explain why the Mavs could be looking at a full rebuild. So if you haven't already, head over to the second channel and check it out. DJ Daniel is a 13-year-old young man from Texas. 5 or 6 years ago, he was diagnosed with brain cancer. Doctors at the time only gave him a few months to live. But it's a funny thing about the doctors. They might give you a few months to live, but it's not up to them. Your life isn't theirs to give, and it's damn sure not theirs to take away. DJ Daniel is living proof as he fought and survived brain cancer. Even though he's only 13 years old, young DJ, he already knows what he wants to be when he grows up. He wants to be a police officer. You know that old saying, dress for the job that you want, not the job you have? I guess young DJ took it seriously because he often dresses like a cop. Last year, he was dressed in his uniform in what appeared to be a public parking lot. He was approached by a group of adults who started harassing him over his uniform. The encounter was filmed by someone named Miss Take Some. I don't know what this particular miss is known for taking, but it's damn sure not dignity. It's damn sure not class, because they showed absolutely no class as they made fun of a child for wanting to be a cop. Watch for yourself.
Oh, baby, you can't arrest me. You too cocky.
So you on your phone? You about to go?
What? Jail, sir. Arrest her. Arrest her. Arrest her.
What's she supposed to be doing, a wiggy dance?
I'm an adult making fun of a child. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I seem to remember the mainstream media trying to convince us that the white man was the biggest threat to the black community. You guys remember that? Remember when they were claiming that mythical racism was the biggest threat to the black community? Let me ask you something. That clip I just showed you, it has been circulating social media all morning. I have yet to see a single mainstream media outlet pick up the story. Strange, but I wonder if the media would be interested in showing that video if it was a group of white men making fun of DJ Daniel. Last night, Donnie Trump decided to honor DJ Daniel. The young man was invited to attend the State of the Union. He was in attendance with his father. As a surprise to him, the Trumper, he decided to honor DJ Daniel by making him an honorary member of the Secret Service. Watch the moment for yourself.
DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Heartwarming moment, right? My wife shed a tear last night when he went to hug the dude from the Secret Service. Oh, that's so sweet. If John Biden had done the same thing, I think we could all agree that it is a positive moment. You're giving a child who survived brain cancer one of the greatest moments of his life. You're honoring him in front of the entire country. If John Biden had done the same thing, every Republican in the room would have put politics aside and got on their feet. Not the Democrats, though. No, 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 no. Liz Warren was too busy texting High Chief Peter Maivia. Nancy Pelosi, she was suffering through resting Bree's face after producing her own brand of Boodle Breeze. This was a very tough situation for deacons at Woke United Methodist. It's kind of hard to keep accusing the Trumper of mythical racism when he is helping and honoring a black family. Last night, MSNBC had their usual panel reacting to the State of the Union. Rachel Maddow, I'm sure super nerd Chris Hayes was there. There were 2 empty seats, though, where Joy Reid and her broom used to sit. And former Yenta Nicole Wallace, she was there to react. Earlier this morning, I told you guys that last night was a devastating loss for the Democrats. Hard to criticize the Trumper when he is cleaning up the federal government. He's eliminating wasteful spending. He's making federal employees actually show up to work to earn their money. He is crippling drug cartels, and he's closing the southern border. Border issues. They are down 98% in the last 6 or 7 weeks. I wonder why? It's hard to criticize the Trumper when the vast majority of Americans support what he is doing. So the Democrats, they're having to rely on their usual tactics. Their primary tactic is making shit up, but that tactic is no bueno because the media no longer has any credibility. So they have to resort to demonization. They have to throw temper tantrums, or in the case of Nicole Wallace, they politicize an innocent child and try to make a heartwarming positive moment all about January 6th. Watch it for yourself.
That you let yourself feel, and I let myself feel joy about DJ, and I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy.
I know the end of the clip was deplorable. I know it is disgusting for Nicole Wallace to inject January 6th into that moment. But you know what I thought was most revealing? Nicole Wallace claimed that she let herself feel joy. She let herself enjoy the moment. Why do you have to let yourself? Why can't you be like everyone else and just enjoy the moment? I'll tell you why she can't. She's not allowed. This has become the party of misery and bitterness. If you're a deacon at Woke United Methodist, you are not allowed to celebrate America. You're not allowed to celebrate good moments if they're orchestrated by the Trumper. This is what the woke fungus does. Nicole Wallace, believe it or not, she used to be a Republican. She used to work for my good friend Georgie W. I'm sure she helped Georgie come up with strategery for The Economer. She worked on the presidential campaign for John McCain. But at some point, Nicole Wallace was infected with the woke fungus. If I had to guess, I would imagine that the infection started in 2014 when she became a Yenta on The View. And what you saw last night, that is the end result. You want to know what the symptoms of stage 4 OMB look like? Oh, it's been bad! I just showed you. But give me your thoughts on this. MSNBC politicizes DJ Daniel in his big moment. Normally, I would give you guys a couple of questions to get the conversation going, but this is one of those times where I don't think questions are necessary. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.